It's homeschool planning season, and today we are going to talk about the thing which has the biggest impact on whether or not your homeschool plan will succeed or fail. And it's also the thing that most people don't consider. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Pam Barnhill, and I help homeschoolers create doable systems, beat burnout, and bring more joy to their homeschool day. Okay, so today we are talking about the biggest thing that you need to consider when it comes to homeschool planning. And it's something that a lot of times people do not take into consideration. And no, I am not talking about your child's learning style, because if you are not up on the research, then you don't know it yet. But learning styles have totally been debunked. It is not important how your child learns. Now, do they have a preference? Yes, they have a preference. And do you want to use those preferences sometimes? Sure, you can use those preferences sometimes. But quite honestly, a lot of times the content dictates the learning style. Okay, that was a tangent. Let's get back to what we're talking about today. Even more important than learning styles or really anything else is, what is your teaching style? How do you like to teach? And the reason why this is so important is because there are very few, I'm not saying they don't exist, but there are very few self-motivated second graders out there. There are very few self-motivated seventh graders out there. And so I like to say that I drive the homeschool train in my house, not necessarily because I want to, but if the homeschool train's going to get anywhere, it's because I'm driving it. And so what that means is I have to choose curriculum options. I have to plan things that I am actually going to do. Because if I do not take my own preferences into account when I make my homeschool plans, if I plan for the aspirational me as opposed to the real me, then what happens when it comes time to do those plans is they just simply don't get done. They simply don't get done. And then I end up in this really bad spiral of not doing things, beating myself up for not doing things, feeling really bad, and then trying to gin up the gumption to do the things, and then I don't do the things again. And it just gets really, really ugly. And so what I want to present to you is the idea that as you are sitting here planning out your homeschool for the next year, as you're thinking about what curriculum am I going to use, what activities do I want to do, what kinds of things will be happening on the day-to-day in our homeschool, that you really, really take into account your own preferences as to what you like to do as a homeschool mom or dad. Now, does this mean that you never consider your children's preferences? No. If you have a child who really likes to do hands-on projects, I would make some time to do hands-on projects. And this is one of the things that we address in Module 2 of Put Your Homeschool Year on Autopilot, where we really hone in on creating goals for each of our children. And we tell you to create 3 goals per year per child, and one of those goals should really focus on something that your child loves, a way that they like to learn, something that they really enjoy as a topic, some talent or special skill that they have. So you make sure that when you're planning out your homeschool year, you take that love of theirs into account. So if you do have a child who loves to do hands-on things, then you spend some time maybe doing some science experiments or maybe doing some history projects. But if you are the kind of person who does not like hands-on activities, and you know that just seeing those on the schedule are going to make you shut down and not want to do anything, then you take a step back and you say, you know what? We're going to do these some, but we're not going to do them for every single subject. We're going to do them for one subject. And we might not do them every day. We might do them once a week, or we might do them once every other week, or we might even do them once a month. And your child is still going to remember how great and fun that particular activity was. Okay, so let me give you some concrete examples of how this works. So let's say you really don't enjoy reading aloud to your kids. That's just not something that you enjoy doing. Well, if that's the case, then you probably don't want to choose a literature-based curriculum. especially for your non-readers, right? Because you're going to put off reading those books for them. You're going to put off getting that done. And so maybe choose a different kind of curriculum instead of a literature based one. Maybe something that's a little more workbook based or school at home. Okay, another thing some homeschool parents struggle with is direct instruction or commanding their child's attention. So, and this could be not necessarily because it's not a skill that you're particularly great at, but because you have lots of younger children running around and you're trying to manage those children and teach at the same time. So if you struggle with commanding your child's attention, or if you struggle with direct instruction, if you feel less than confident about direct instruction, this is the time to do an online class or work with a tutor. Another thing you might want to consider is accountability. Some moms do really well with the accountability of an outside group or co-op. It very well could be that science experiments would never get done in your house if you didn't go to co-op once a week and do the science class. Once again, that's completely okay. Just know that as a particular strength or weakness of yours and set up your homeschool plan to accommodate for that. So there you have it. Keep yourself in mind as you make your homeschool plans. All right, if you need any help with your homeschool planning, do come on over and check out Put Your Homeschool Year on Autopilot. It's pambarnhill.com/autopilot. In there, we have 10 modules that streamline your planning process, help you set up a flexible plan for the year. Yes, very flexible, that's going to flex with you as your needs change, and help you have some sanity and calm the chaos of homeschooling. I'll see you next time. Have a great day.